She lived there for 22 years, paid every bill, raised her kids, built a life. But when the new neighbor moved in, a woman with a clipboard, a fake smile, and a loud opinion, she decided it was time for certain people to leave. She called the landlord, filed a notice, tried to make her disappear quietly. But what she didn't know was that the woman she tried to evict had just filed something too. With the Supreme Court, she had lived in that house for 22 years. No noise complaints, no broken rules, just rent paid on time and roses blooming out front every spring. But the day the woman next door moved in, everything changed. She introduced herself as Marla Prescott, clipboard in hand, voice clicked and performative. I like to keep the neighborhood uniform. At first, it was petty, notes on her door, complaints about the garden, phone calls to the landlord over things that didn't exist. Then came the notice, an eviction, for unauthorized remodeling and unregistered visitors. She didn't yell, didn't cry. She just sat at her kitchen table and pulled out a folder. Inside, receipts, photos, letters, and a copy of a civil rights case her grandmother filed in 1971. The same land, the same zoning battle, the same attempt to displace. So she made a call, not to a lawyer, to a clerk. She wasn't just a tenant. She was Dr. Simone Ellis, civil liberties professor, activist, and co-author of a federal housing reform bill. And Marla had no idea who she was trying to evict. Weeks passed. Then came the hearing. The judge barely glanced up until he saw the name on the amicus brief filed in support. United States Supreme Court, Office of Public Interest Litigation. It wasn't just her case anymore. It was precedent. National. Historic. In the courtroom, Marla's expression cracked. The landlord looked down. Even the opposing counsel stepped back. And when the judge finally spoke, this court finds the eviction unlawful, racially motivated, and a violation of federal protection statutes. Simone didn't smile. She didn't need to. She gathered her papers and left with her head high. Because when your roots run deep, you don't get removed. You remind them why you're planted. They tried to push her out quietly, but the Supreme Court answered louder. Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories where history protects those who know how to use it.